My brothers and sisters, on this last Sunday of the year 2023, we are celebrating the feast of the Holy Family of Nazareth. It is a day for us to pray for our families. The Holy Family is of course unique and unrepeatable, but at the same time it is a model of life for every family because Jesus chose to be born into a human family and thereby blessed and consecrated it. Let us therefore entrust all families to Our Lady and to Saint Joseph, so that they do not lose heart in the face of trials and difficulties, but always cultivate love and devote themselves with trust to the service of life and education. In today's Gospel, Luke stresses that Mary and Joseph, as devout and pious Jews, were faithful to all the requirements of the Mosaic law. Luke tells us of three ancient ceremonies that Joseph and Mary observed following the birth of Jesus. Firstly, the circumcision and naming of the child. Secondly, purification following childbirth. And finally, the presentation of the child. The first time that Jesus had entered the temple of the Lord was 40 days after his birth, when his parents had offered on his behalf a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. The child is named Jesus, or Yeshua in Hebrew. That is the name that he had been called by the angel before his conception. In his life spent at Nazareth, Jesus honored the Virgin Mary and the righteous Joseph, remaining under their authority throughout the period of his childhood and his adolescence. Today's Gospel begins with Luke telling us that when the day came for them to be purified as laid down by the law of Moses, Joseph and Mary took Jesus up to Jerusalem. At this point, we need to make an important point about purification. It has nothing to do with sin. The mother is not being purified because she has sinned in any way. Nor is there any suggestion that the process of childbirth is in some way sinful. Giving birth is a creative act. The mother participates in God's act of creation. When she gives birth, she enters the sacred. She becomes one with the Creator. So before returning to secular life, the mother marked the end of that particular time of contact with the divine through the ritual of purification. So there is the meaning here of purification. Then the mother had to make an offering of a year-old lamb and a turtle dove or a pigeon. If she was poor, she made the offering of a pair of turtle doves. So, the parents of Jesus, Mary and Joseph, are portrayed as being among the poor of the land. Simon was promised that he would not see death before he had seen the Lord's Messiah. Since the 5th century, this canticle has been recited every day at night prayer. At last, O powerful Master, you gave leave to your servant to go in peace, according to your promise. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared for all nations, the light to enlighten the Gentiles and give glory to Israel, your people. Luke is making an important point here. This child is to be first of all a light to enlighten the Gentiles, and only secondly to give glory to Israel, God's people. Christian tradition has given Simon the title Theotokos, a Greek word which means receiver of God. My brothers and sisters, on this feast of the Holy Family, let us all pray that we also may be Theotokos, a receiver of God. This feast of the Holy Family invites us to revalue the family as the key to happiness. We all know of the great dangers that some of our families suffer today. They are fragmented, wounded, broken with internal and external difficulties. We can see lack of dialogue in some families. Added to this are divisive factors such as separation and divorce. We must return again and again to God's original plan for the family. The three members of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, appear throughout the Gospel as people who are distinguished by their listening to the Word. As we celebrate the feast of the Holy Family, let us pray. O Holy Family of Nazareth, teach us recollection and interiority, and lend us listening ears to your word, and keep us united in our families. I wish you all a very prosperous and graceful Happy New Year.